Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally making another BCBA video because I know you guys love to watch anything that I put out that's related to BCBA content. I just honestly haven't had the time to sit down and actually film a video like that, but finally we have time for that. So in today's video, we're actually gonna be doing a little Q&A. Honestly, I haven't received that many questions, but I did want to do a small little Q&A video on a couple of questions I received in your comments. And so I'm going to be responding to some of the comments that I've received. So let's get right into it. We are definitely taking advantage that no one is here, no one is home. Thank God. Like my sisters, my mom and my dad aren't home, so we're definitely taking advantage of the nice quiet time. Alrighty guys, so we have wondering what you majored in during your undergrad. I'm gonna go through my schooling because I do get a lot of comments and stuff asking about schooling. I gotta preface with something. I actually never paid for school. That's something that I love to say. I just actually never paid for school, which honestly I'm very thankful. I was very much a tryhard in all my life. I've always enjoyed going to school. I've always liked studying. So honestly, school has never really been a problem for me. Let me start with my AA. I got my AA in Miami-Dade Honors College, and I will always be the person to tell you go to community college. That is the number one thing like a lot of people don't want to do, but that is the best thing you can do. It's a lot cheaper. I had a great experience at Miami-Dade Honors College. I went to Austria for free, traveling for free to an extravagant place I've never been to. So I went to actually Germany too. We went to a concentration camp. We did like a global citizenship alliance. That's actually what it's called. And it was a great time, honestly. I had a blast. And like I said, a free trip, great. So I did my associates, and actually I have pretty much always been in the field of ABA pretty much. It's because my little cousin was diagnosed with autism. She received services, and basically I started working when I was 19 in the field of ABA. And so I went to school. It was like my second semester. And I had originally gone because I wanted to be a doctor or whatever, but I didn't end up doing that. And so I switched to getting my degree in speech because I thought that she received speech services, but it wasn't. But I mean, SLPU is something that I was still interested in. I wanted to do some type of helping kids in whatever way. So I actually got my AA really in speech, I want to say. Then my bachelor's, I was already working as an RBT, so I knew that I wanted to keep doing this. So I went to Florida International University, or FIU, and I also the honors college there. It was good too. I mean, I got it paid for, so that's always what I wanted. There I did psychology with the ABA track. So I took all the coursework needed to become a BCABA, and I was a BCABA. After I graduated with my bachelor's, I applied to Florida State University. If you didn't know, they do have two campuses, which I didn't know, and a lot of people don't know. So they have two campuses, and I went to the one in Panama City, and it was my master's program was in person, and honestly, I do recommend it. Again, it was free as well. Basically, all we paid for was the fees, which was like, I want to say $200, $300 every semester, which is not bad at all for a master's degree, and housing, of course. But I'd rather pay for housing than the coursework, if you will. And then during my time there, I worked at a clinic on site and basically did not need to drive at all. It was on site. Everything literally was, I just walked to the campus because I lived in the pretty much like student housing. They weren't dorms, they were like student apartments. And so yeah, it was honestly a great experience. So honestly, if you're thinking about being a BCBA, definitely you want to study psychology and do the coursework, of course, for ABA. Next question is, what is your area of interest? Which I already discussed, it's psychology, and with a specific emphasis in applied behavior analysis. And then what advice do you have for graduate students as far as time management and work-life balance? I love that question. So advice for graduate students as far as time management. Honestly, I'm a planner person. I always have a planner, whether it's digital or a physical one. I like to get things done. You know what I mean? I do not procrastinate ever. I've never been a procrastinator, even in elementary. I can remember like coming home from school wanting to finish my homework real quick, so then I had time to do whatever I wanted. So that's basically always been with me. I've never had a problem with really my time management. Thankfully, I've always been very good at that. But if you struggle with like procrastination, leaving things for last minute, honestly, it's just not gonna help you in the long run. So I would say, tackle those habits as quick as you can. You know what I mean? Even set up your own reinforcement schedule. You know what I mean? If you get something done in the weekend, buy yourself your favorite coffee, buy yourself, I don't know, something to reinforce yourself for doing what you needed to do. So that would be my biggest advice. Always have a planner, always try to get things done as soon as possible so that later you can enjoy your day. I usually, even like now, I try to get my notes in during the session. I'm not gonna do the supervision logs on my own time. I'm not gonna write my notes on my own time. Everything is done throughout the session. That's my biggest advice for you to get used to it, honestly. And then work-life balance, honestly, like I said, I don't leave things for last minute, but every day I try to do something that brings me happiness, whether it's recording, whether it's coloring on my iPad, whether it's watching Cobra Kai, watching YouTube with my sister. Like, I always set aside time for myself, because that's something as a salary employee you're just going to struggle with in any field, right? If you're just salary, they're like always giving you so much work, and sometimes you just have to really which is something I'm still learning, but you really have to say, hey, by 8 p.m., I'm not going to do it. And every day is going to be different. So one day you might be like, hey, my sessions are done at 2, so I'm going to get home and I'm going to eat, and by 5, I'm going to be done. But then the next day, your sessions are done by 6, so you're like, oh, okay, by 8, I'm gonna be done, So always try to schedule your time wisely and to actually, be productive when you're gonna say you're gonna be productive. For an hour, really dedicate time to treatment plan writing for 1 hour and constantly planning out your day. Can you tell me the steps to take to be a BCBA? So to be a BCBA, you do need your master's degree. So if you don't like school, it probably won't be for you. Just letting you know, you do have to go into schooling. But basically, the steps to be a BCBA, you have your AA, you have your bachelor's, you get your master's, and you want to make sure that you do the coursework that's required. Basically, if you go on the BACB.com, they have the steps and everything for you. I'll literally just pop it up right here. And there it is. But basically what you do is you get your master's, you do the coursework. You do have to get unrestricted and restricted hours. I believe you can do unrestricted only to be a BCBA, but I really recommend, also doing those direct sessions, because I don't know, just me personally, this is my opinion. How do you expect to supervise effectively if you've never been like an RBT before? I don't know. I have yet to meet people that have not been an RBT before their BCBA, so I don't know how that works. But honestly, for me, I would say it was very, very beneficial to be a RBT to effectively, supervise. Basically, those are the steps, and you complete your hours and then you sit for the exam, which is very, very hard. The last question that I'm going to be talking about is, how was the BCBA exam? So the BCBA exam was actually really, really hard. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was like super easy, that, it was like I passed with flying colors. No, because it is hard. I would say that on a scale from 1 to 10, I would say we're giving it 8.59. Like, honestly, it was hard. Like I said, I do love studying. I love school. I love learning. So I did dedicate myself really, really well to studying, and I did study, I studied 3 months, really hardcore for 3 months. But honestly, in your graduate program, you are learning, you are applying what you're learning, so that's also some time. But I would say I dedicated like 3 months really good to, doing mock exams, to looking on YouTube. Honestly, YouTube has so many good resources. If you want to know, I'm not going to gatekeep, but I am going to make another video just on CBA exam if you would like me to. on all the resources I use, and I can share them with, you know, all of you guys. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know. Please leave a comment so I can make that video. But overall, I would say the BCBA exam is hard. But honestly, you got this, right? Like, so many people I would read, you know, this is like they didn't pass on the first time and they're like giving up. Honestly, I would say don't give up, you know, like really don't. If you apply yourself, you will pass. Like, if you're religious like I am, you know, give it to God, because you can do it. You can do anything that you want to do, honestly. Did I ever think I was going to be sitting here having my camera on talking to people on the internet? Probably not, you know, because I was always very doubtful of my skills and myself. But now that I'm doing it, honestly, it feels great. Alrighty guys, sorry for the change of scenery. Everybody came home now, so I had to like start doing other stuff. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around if you've made it this far. I appreciate you so much. If you have any questions about my BCBA experience, if you have any questions on schooling, the test, whatever you want me to answer, I will answer. So just let me know in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! Sorry, my phone and everything is always blowing up.